Yo, what's good, peoples? It's your boy, Brooklyn Kid. I want to talk about something that's been on my mind. It's called basically I was thinking, a lot of people, a lot of people, what? I'm gonna put myself in this. A lot of us tend to, you know, we we tend to let people define who we are. Um, I'm gonna read this not script. Excuse. I'm gonna read this quote by Oprah Winfrey. I'm not a fan of Oprah Winfrey or nothing, but this quote that I came across really, kind of, is relevant to what I'm going to be talking about today. It says, "You define your own life. Don't let other people write your scripts." Basically, you see, for me, I I know who I am as a person. Not maybe fully, but I'm starting to know who I am and what I'm about. You know what I mean? And because I'm pretty young. I'm like what 20, and I'll be 21 in a couple of weeks. So I'm still at that young age, of finding who I am as a person. Um, but I know who I am at the same time. I know what I'm capable of doing and what I'm not capable of doing. I know, what I mean, how I handle certain things. And as for me, I think I'm a pretty cool guy. I'm a pretty good guy as well. Although there are very few people that may beg to differ on that, but oh well. But I'm the kind of guy, like I think for me, what it took for me to define myself was spending a lot of times by myself, defining that's what helped define who I was or who I am as a person. It was spending time alone, and I'm gonna throw this in there. I think that's one of the best ways. Spend time, finding yourself, spending time alone. Not every time you got to be around somebody. Spend some time alone. Think, read a book. You know, I'm not saying that you must always be a loner and isolate yourself from people constantly, but have some time to yourself. You know, and that's what kind of helped me. And I'd say, man, it was good, and I'm still doing that to this day. Still learning about myself and whatnot. But at the same time, people can't define me. People can't tell me who I am. You know, they could. They can't tell me. Like, they could, they could give their opinion of what they think of me, but that may not be who I am as a person. Anybody can say anything about me. Anybody can say, "Yo, you're a no good nigga." People can say, "I'm a no good nigga." You know what I mean? Am I a no good nigga? Well, in my opinion, I don't think so. I'm not the greatest guy in the world, of course not, but at the same time, I think I'm a pretty good guy. I know my shortcomings, I know my faults, I know my flaws. You know what I mean? Like I said, I know what I'm what I know what I'm not capable of doing. So yeah. So I'm like, for me, man, this is for me. Let me tell this to y'all, man. Don't let people define who you is, man. You define your own self. Even though it's gonna take some time and some patience to find out who you are as a person, depending the situation. Not really the situation, but it really just depends. You know what I mean? What you're doing, and you need to find yourself. You can't allow people to tell you all the time, "Oh yeah, you're this person, you're that kind of person, you're that kind of person." If you allow people to tell you all those kind of stuff, you're gonna believe anything from anybody. You just gotta believe you. Yeah, of course, God knows you more than you know yourself. But at the same time, you as a person need to know you. Need to know what you're about. You know what I mean? You need to know. You can't allow people to know you more than you know your own self. Because, like I said, they can easily make you believe anything. You know what I mean? You need to have that confidence that, yo, I know who I am. I know what I'm about. I know I won't go down this route, or I know I'll probably go down that route. You need to know that. Nobody else. You feel me? If people want to say you're not intelligent, you won't ever be nothing. If if people gonna tell you that, and that's what you think, like, yeah, they right, man. I ain't gonna be nothing, son. I ain't gonna be nothing. I'm just gonna be a no good nigga working in Mickey D's, which I had no problem with people working at Mickey D's. You know what I mean? Just I look at it like this. Why make it a career? But hey, we're in tough economic times, so hey, it'll be a blessing even if you got a job at McDonald's, all right? But you know, they're gonna be looking down at you to be like, oh well, you'll never get a raise, you'll never get a promotion, you're always gonna be some uneducated, unintelligent sucker, and this and that and the third. You keep thinking that, you're obviously gonna believe that. If people gonna say, you ain't never gonna find you a good woman, brother, you obviously you keep thinking that that actually is gonna happen. If women say anything for you, you ain't never gonna find you a good man. You keep thinking that, you keep dwelling on that, you're obviously not gonna get a good man, right? So you need to not only not know, don't let people only not only define who you are, but don't let people define your future. You know what I mean? People can say, yeah, you're gonna be a good person. You're gonna be you're gonna be a successful person in life. Anybody can say that, but it's up to you. It's up to you, yo, to decide. Oh, am I gonna be successful in life? It's up to you to decide that, and it's up to you to define who you are. It's really not other people. It's only up to you, and I'm like I said, I'm speaking to myself as well. Don't think I'm excluding myself. It's up to you. It's up to us to define who we are as a person. Not moms, not pops, not brother, not sister, not auntie, uncle, cousin, homeboy, godmother, godfather, grandmother, grandfather, not pastor, not bishop, not elder, not the mayor, not the president. Okay, not the unemployment office. Alright, not your counselor. Really you and God. Yeah, because God knows who you are. At the same time, you need to sit down and figure out who you are as a person. You know, sometimes, like I said, I'm still learning, so you ain't the only one. But yeah, don't let other people define you, yo. Don't let other people define who you are. All right, be you. Be you. That's the greatest thing about. That's the greatest thing about human nature. It's like it's like you don't have to be like somebody else. You can always be you. Like when you're born out of your mother's womb, yeah, you're crying just like pretty much every other baby, of course. But when you're growing up with with a unique trait about you, something different about who you are, something that stands out, something that differentiate from your differentiate yourself from a different person. You know what I mean? It's the greatest thing, you know. But all I'm saying, yo, and I know I'm sounding mad repeated right now, but I'm wrapping this up. Don't let other people define who you are. Alright? Like I said, you need to know who you are. Alright? But anyway, but let me know what y'all think about this. Also, I know I've been kind of I kind of been lagging, slacking off on the making videos, and I just want to say I apologize for that. This past couple of weeks has been crazy, and then again, when I want to make a video, then I end up being lazy. So it's like, yeah. But today I found the courage to make a video. So hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all took something from this, and y'all take it easy. All right, one.